Okay, guys, I'm a bit confused about this week's episode of Utawarerumono, or to be more specific, the title, because it's titled The Pirate Girl. But there is no pirate girl in this week's episode. The only new girl we see is a princess. So is this a translation error from Crunchyroll, or is it the animator basically throwing a curveball to us so we would think that there would be a pirate girl in this week's episode? And I really don't like that. I don't like them doing that. So yeah. But what is this week's episode of Utawarerumono about? It is about Haku working hard in secret, we find out, and also learning the language of the Utawarerumono world. And when I say learning it, I mean writing it and reading it. And from what I can see, the written sign language they use are Chinese. I could be wrong, since it could be one of the others, Japanese, but I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. But don't hang me up on this. And also, it seems that Haku is afraid of what she called royalty, because when she comes with a drink, he is about when she comes with tea, he's about to, like, oh, I guess I'm gonna take a break, and then she looks at him, and I'm not sure why, but he decides to continue. Is he afraid of her? Can someone that has better, like, insight explain me why he's afraid of her, or seems that way? But this isn't or this is just a minor part of the episode. The other part, you could say, is that, what's it called? He is While he is in the city and go basically to buy some food for some money he has gotten from Kyun, which he kind of earned by doing all of those stuff in secret. He buys some food, and a girl called Artie runs into him, and he drops in, and that is sick. That is so sad, man. Especially when he is like, he's basically like, I would rather die. And then as in Artie, when she's been haunted by this Vega wannabe, she says to him that she would rather die, and then Haku says, I want to die, because he's basically has lost that food he had just purchased. So yeah. But he has to run away, because else the Vega guy would kill him, because he apparently is trying to keep any guy away from from Aruchi because of her brother Otoru. I'm not sure if he's like in love with her, Otoru, or if he's just trying to protect her. I think Otoru is Hatui's brother, or at least that's how I understood it. So yeah, I think that's how it is, but I could be wrong. So yeah, but why was Aruti, who is a princess, in case you haven't figured it out, in the city? She is in the city because she's looking for love, and I'm really not sure if I like her or not, because I have a feeling like her her voice actor is not the correct one. She's like, if I'm correct, she's normally like voice acting lollies, so it doesn't fit this body style. However, when she gets like embarrassed over stuff like Haku pushing her up against a wall to ensure that she isn't getting stepped on, and this wall is said like, if you touch this together, basically like a couple, you you are getting like you are getting together. It's basically like the legendary tree in Tomoki, where basically if you say your love under it, you will be together. And we see a lot of places like that. And she blushes, and I like her at that moment. But when she speaks, I'm just like, oh, please stop, stop. And she seems to be a troll, because when Kyun catches up to Haku and talks to him, she is like, "Oh, is that your lover?" And we know the normal reaction. However, they are just looking at her like, "Huh? No, we are not in that kind of relationship." And then this is no fun. So I really don't know. However, since she reminds me a bit of Reiko from Shomin Sample, and you know how much I dislike her after this week's episode of Shomin Sample. Or hasn't there been released a new episode of Shomin Sample? I think there has. So technically, last week's episode. I'll have to look that up, guys. So yeah, I really don't know if I will trash her or call her okay. I need to see more of her and see how she interacts with him. But who was that Vega guy? He is called Kuro, and he knows Nikon from somewhere, and he is sent by the brother, his brother Utsuru, who I think is the father of Atua, Atui. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to pronounce that name, but yeah. And in the end, he ends up staying, like, being a servant of Kyun and the others, because, or not a servant, he's basically getting assigned to stay at their place because Atwi decides to move in at the room besides Haku. Yeah, so the girl next door. And I really don't hope that's the archetype for the girls next door, because then I fucking dislike those types. But what will next episode bring? From what I can see, and that is actually something that has correlation with this week's episode, because Haku and Haku is, by the way, being called the Righteous Man, which is something Unkun has started. Really interesting thing. Really interesting. Because people basically, while he is on a date with Atui, they are talking about him, not them, but the village people, about how he basically fixed the drain and how he fixed the roof and stuff. And no one knows who he is. So yeah, interesting. But as I was saying, the secret mission they have gotten from Unkun was to basically keep an eye out on the capital and ensure that nothing bad happened. And in order to ensure that this didn't come out, that Unkun, or Utoru, as he's also known as, is like hiring some people to protect, because he can keep an eye out for everywhere. Kyun has purchased her basically bought a room in a inn who is really secure. There's like a lot of ninjas that patrols, and this is to, as I said, ensure that their secret is being kept. And also, we get to know that, or she says that the owner here is like really scary. And from what if I know this series right, it wouldn't surprise me if the owner is like a lolly. We see her in the next week's episode, from what I can understand from the preview. But yeah, really interesting episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Hopefully I'll find time, since I have some other plans. But when that is said and done, see you guys later, and have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Cheers.